we should be able to find the perimeter and circumference of some basic shapes. Perimeter means distance around. So to find the distance around an object, all I do is I add up the sides. So if I have a triangle, I'd say in this question it'd be B plus C plus D. Just add up the sides. You could do a square, but all the sides are the same, so I'm just going to say 4 times one side. The same with a rectangle. You could add up all 4 sides, but then I'm going to have 2 of the sides the same, so I'll say 2 times the length plus 2 times the width. A circle is not a polygon, so we don't say its perimeter, but circumference, which still means the distance around. There are 2 formulas you probably learned from middle school. 2 pi r, so 2 times pi times radius, or pi times d. Pi is about 3.14. That's what we'll use most of the time. And then we'll round our answer if we need to. To find the area of a triangle, well, first of all, to find the area of a rectangle, it's length times height. A square is the same thing. Well, if I look at a rectangle and I divide that in 2, I've got a triangle then, don't I? So in other words, I take 1/2 times the base times the height. Make sure your height's at a 90-degree angle. To find the area of a circle, it's pi times r squared. Let's apply that to a couple questions here. So I want to find the perimeter in the area of each figure. So I'm going to start with my rectangle. Since it's a rectangle, I know perimeter is 2 times the length times the width. Try that again. 2 times the length plus 2 times the width. So now I'm just going to do my work. I'm going to say 2 times 4.6 plus 2 times 2.3. Well, 4.6 is 9.2. 2.3 is 4.6. Add those together and you get 13.8. Now when we're doing perimeter, we measure perimeter in what we call regular units, in linear units, so it's centimeters. Don't forget your units. In geometry, if you don't have the units, it's going to be wrong. Now if I don't give you units, you can't put them in. But if there are units on the problem, I want you to put them in. Now to find the area of a rectangle, we look at our sheet. It's length times width. So in other words, I take 2.3 times 4.6. So numerically, I'm just going to multiply that in my calculator. So I do 2.3 times 4.6, and then we'll get 10.58. Now from algebra, I'm taking centimeter times centimeter. So centimeter times centimeter is centimeter squared. You can say square centimeters, that's how you say it, is 10.58 square centimeters, or centimeters squared. It's pretty much what you have to do. And that's all you would do to find the area. I didn't tell you what to round it to, so you could leave it as 10.58, or you could write it as 10.6 or 11. All of them would be correct. Now let's find the circumference of my circle. So the circumference of my circle is going to be 2 pi times r. And the reason I'm going to use that is because on this problem, I know the radius is 4. So I take 2 times pi times 4. Well, I know 2 times 4 is 8. So the exact answer is 8 pi. Now we're going to use the pi key on our calculator. Let me pull up Desmos here to see if I have that. Looks like I got to open that up. I'd like to use the Desmos Scientific on this one because we don't have to do a bunch of work here. So I'm going to take 8 times pi. So I'm going to go 8, and notice I have a pi key right there. And my answer is 25.13274 and blah, blah, blah. We don't need all those decimals. We're going to round it to something appropriate. I think I'm going to say about 25 centimeters on this one because in my original problem, not centimeters, inches. Let me go back to my problem here. My problem was rounded to the nearest inch, so I'm going to say my area. I'm going to round that, or my circumference, I'm sorry. My circumference, I'm going to round to the nearest inch, so I'm going to say that's about 25 inches. And obviously, I'm perfectly fine with you saying 25.1. I'm kind of okay with 25.13. After that, I don't think you can measure it that closely. So I won't go anything beyond that. Now let's find the area. The area has a different formula. It's pi r squared. So I take pi times 4 squared. Remember, you do the exponents first, so the exact answer is 16 pi. Then I'll use my calculator to find 16 pi, and once again, I think I'll round this to the nearest whole number. So I'm just going to go 16 times pi, and I get 50.27, so 50, I'm going to say. So I'm going to say my answer is going to be around about 50, and don't forget your units, 50 square inches. And there's your answer for that one.